In the not so distant future, SpaceX will be launching their Starship IFT-2 Starship Super Heavy rocket from Boca Chica, Starbase, Texas. And they released a little bit of information about this the other day. The second flight test of a fully integrated Starship could launch as soon as mid-November, pending regulatory approval, according to SpaceX. Now, if you haven't been watching along or listening to any podcasts or anything about this, I'm going to get you up to speed real quick. SpaceX did the IFT-1 launch, which was successful, kinda. They made it off the pad and they made it over the Gulf of Mexico. And then when they made it over the Gulf of Mexico, they had to detonate the rocket. But it didn't go as planned. The detonation was kind of haphazard and it didn't really have enough force to blow up the whole rocket. So there was debris that was showering down in the Gulf of Mexico, but also underneath the rocket and the launch platform got demolished. So they had to install a water cooling system. And that's this thing right here. It's underneath the launch mount. And they shower the whole launch mount with water, right? And it protects the launch mount, protects the rocket, and also suppresses sound. And everything else around it, too. It protects pretty much everything around it. So there's going to be a bunch of steam that flies out of this thing. And the Fish and Wildlife Service, they are concerned that this may be a problem with local wildlife. We're going to get into that in a second here. But let's go back to what SpaceX updated on their website. Starship's second flight test. Fully integrated Starship could launch as soon as mid-November, pending regulatory approval. We saw that on their tweet. Starship's first test flight, providing numerous lessons learned that can directly contributed to several upgrades to both the vehicle and the ground infrastructure. And we're just talking about this. The hot stage separation is a new one for SpaceX too, and we're going to talk about how that's going to affect the launch here. But this is the hot staging, vented interstage and heat shield installed atop Booster 9. And Super Heavy are being upgraded. And this is the hot staging. It goes between the booster and the actual Starship. So, vented interstage and heat shield installed atop Booster 9. Starship and Super Heavy are being upgraded to use a separation method called hot staging, where Starship's second stage engines will ignite to push the ship away from the booster. So they don't just separate, one falls, the booster falls below the ship, and then the ship ignites. They're together, the ship ignites and pushes the booster away and also pushes itself away. And this vented interstage will dissipate some of that heat and some of that force. So it'll be a cool thing to watch. The rapid iterative development approach has been the basis for all SpaceX's major innovative advancements, including Falcon 9, Dragon, and Starlink. Recursive improvement is essential as we work to build a fully reusable transportation system, etc., etc. So this is where SpaceX and the FAA kind of diverge. The FAA is a slow government system. SpaceX wants to launch these things hundreds of times before they put people in them for the Artemis program. So they're working hard to get as many launches in as possible. And currently, they only have about 5 launches per year at the Boca Chica Starbase facility that they can actually do. And they want to get as many in as possible. The FAA is, in sense, kind of holding them back because they're moving really fast. And they're moving forward faster than the FAA can keep up with them. But after the IFT-2 launch, it seems like if this goes well, the FAA will kind of back off a little bit and allow them to launch a little bit more. So this is a new timeline for the launch, by the way. SpaceX flight director at 2 hours away. SpaceX flight director conducts poll and verifies go for propellant load. Then they load the propellant. LOX load, they do a fuel load, liquid methane underway at 137, and LOX load as well at the same time. 117, ship fuel load, liquid methane underway. Ship LOX load underway at 113 before launch. Raptor begins engine chill of booster and the ship. Flame deflector activation at 10 seconds. So when we start counting 10, that's when we're going to see the... we're going to see this at like 10 seconds before the launch. We're going to see this, but in full speed right here. So this will deflect all the flames and suppress the sound and suppress the blast from the actual launch here. So Raptor ignition sequence begins at 3 seconds, and then excitement guaranteed at 0. So this is the flight plan, which is interesting. I'm going to show you this a little bit. This is when the engine starts at 0 right here, and then they're going to launch up and fly over. Ascent, this is where they start flying over into the Gulf of Mexico. Hot staging happens right here. And then the boost back burn for the booster. By the way, the booster is about 250 feet tall. A 25-story skyscraper is doing a backflip and then reorienting itself and then landing in the Gulf of Mexico. That's absolutely insane. Water landing, it's not going to be landing on a ship or anything like that right now. They're going to be trying to do a propulsive water landing according to this diagram here. So the Starship ascent, it keeps going. The Starship keeps going off. Starship engine cut off. Coast phase, so they coast all the way to Kauai, near Hawaii. They do a flip burn. Starship reentry, come down on its belly, the belly flop, if you will, and then water landing on its belly. They're not going to try to propulsively land this outside of Kauai. So it looks like it's just going to belly smack her into the ocean at the end of this launch, which will be absolutely thrilling. And hopefully they have cameras there, because this is going to be a 90-minute flight, I believe it is, something like that. And there will be excitement guaranteed, whether on the launch, somewhere in between, or in the landing. So anywhere on this whole launch, it's going to be absolutely exciting. So flight timeline, here we go. Lift off at 2 seconds. So it's going to take about 2 seconds to get off the pad and start going. 52 seconds in. So about a minute in, we're going to get to the most stress on the rocket. So watch out for max Q. It's my favorite part of any launch, because basically if they make it past this, then it's almost smooth sailing. It seems like it's going to be going okay at this point. Booster main engine cut off at 239. Hot staging at 241. 253, the boost back burn startup. Booster boost back burn shutdown. So that's that backflip from the booster. Booster is transonic. Booster's landing burn at 648. Booster landing burn shutdown. And then booster's done. It's in the Gulf of Mexico. Starship engine cut off. This Starship's still flying towards Kauai too, by the way. The Starship engine cut off at 8 minutes and 30 seconds. 1 hour, 17 minutes. Starship entry, 1 hour, 28 minutes, 43 seconds. Starship is transonic. And then 1 minute, 30 seconds, and exciting landing. So they know that this is going to be excitement guaranteed on the launch. And when they land, it's going to be an exciting landing, when it's going to be doing a belly smacker into the Gulf of Kauai, off Hawaii's coast there. So those are the latest updates that we have from, like, directly from Starship's SpaceX page here. So second test flight is coming up soon. I can't wait for this to actually happen. The water cooling system is one of my favorite things. It's very cool, because if they can figure this out, they can figure out the water cooling, the flame deflector, then they don't need a giant flame trench like you see on all the other gigantic rockets, like the NASA rockets, like Artemis rockets, and like you see in the space shuttle and ULA rockets, and pretty much every other rocket anywhere. So if they can figure out this stand with this flame deflector, it's going to be absolutely massive for the spaceflight industry. They'll be able to build these pretty much anywhere, because anywhere with a flat surface, they can build a Starship launch pad. That's absolutely beautiful. Now, if you like this video, by the way, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, because if you watch this long, and if you're excited about SpaceX's Starship flight, you like this kind of content. So please hit the like and the subscribe button, and it'll help me out tremendously. And it'll help me continue to bring you coverage of Starship throughout the time that they're developing it, and even further down the road for the Artemis missions. So we're on 4 years coming up. Or 5 years? I don't even know anymore. It's 5 years, something like that. Anyway, thank you so much for your continued support. And I want to say thank you for watching. And please take care of yourselves and each other. And I'll see you in the next episode. Okay, do I have a bye-bye video? I have a thanks. What does this do? Oh, thanks for watching. There we go. I'm down there in the corner. Thanks for watching, everybody. There's a video over there. You can check out that video and also like and subscribe. Bye bye.